Hi guys, this is Patricia Mickus with Simple Luxuries Travel, and I wanted to welcome you guys to Lunch and Learn. I'm hoping to make this a more regular, hopefully weekly live video series where we can just come together and talk about travel and eat our lunch, because everyone should be able to take a midday break at noon, whether it's a midday break from your work, your homework, your school, or anybody else out there just needing a 30-minute break just to kind of catch yourself and dream about travel. So I've got my salad here and I've got my water because it's important to stay hydrated. And hopefully you guys have grabbed a sandwich or a cup of soup or a salad and can spend about 30 minutes with me today to talk about travel. So today I wanted to talk about why we travel. Now, the one thing that I have learned this past year is how important travel is to me personally and also to our family. For us, we are a big believer that making time to travel, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that big, huge trip. It could be just traveling someplace 30 minutes down the road from where you live. But being able to do things as a family, kind of getting away from our normal routine, putting the cell phones down. Yes, I know there's a camera on there, but sometimes what you see needs to stay in your brain and not necessarily needing to take pictures of it all. I mean, how many times have you been to an event where you just want to sit and enjoy it and all you see is a sea of cell phones and a sea of iPads up in the air, obscuring your view so that you can't get that full experience? Sometimes you just need to put the cell phones away and really immerse yourself into the experience of travel. You know, just sit, relax, close your eyes, take a deep breath, listen. What sounds do you hear? Do you hear birds? Do you hear people? Do you hear a stream running way in the distance? Take a deep breath. Are you getting, really good mountain air? We went to the mountains a couple of weeks ago, only about an hour's drive from our house. And I was sitting there and I was just beautiful sight, sitting on a rock on top of a mountain. And I was breathing in and I was like, oh, fresh air. And then I get a whiff of cows because I forget there's a farm next door full of cows. And it's just, those are the types of things that you just need to make some time and, just carve out some time with your family. If you can't carve out an entire week, maybe carve out an afternoon to kind of make plans and travel. Hey, Jerry Lynn, I'm so glad you have joined us and are watching us. And I hope you're enjoying. And if you have any questions, please put them down. I would love to answer any of your questions that you might have about why we travel and why it's important to travel. When we do travel as a family, I try to keep the distractions at a minimum. We're out of our normal routines. My husband, isn't checking his emails. My children are not gaming and on their computers all the time. We really do try to disconnect from what our normal routines are, and we try to enjoy the moments together, because really, my kids are grown. They're both in college. I have a 22-year-old and a 20-year-old boys. And sometimes just to get them out of that fast mode that we live in, we have to move away. We have to get away from the house. I mean, granted, I loved having them here and enjoying their time together here, quarantining, but at the same time, it's great just to get out of the house and kind of, walk around. Things are starting to open up. So, put your masks on and go outside. And if you're hiking, if it's not a rule that you have to wear your mask, then it's your choice as to what you want to do. When we're by ourselves hiking on trails, we certainly aren't masked up, but when we do follow the local rules and all the rules of the businesses that people have. But I'm just saying, get out there and explore. Things are changing, and I think you guys will be able to really enjoy yourselves and get out and get some fresh air. Nothing is better. I'm telling you right now, nothing is better than seeing a genuine smile on your kids' faces. I don't care if your kids are 5, 15, or 25. I get the whole smirks and the eye rolls and things like that, but every once in a while, my young adults will start a big old belly laugh about something, and it's just nice to be able to enjoy that with them. Now, I grew up in a small town in Virginia, and when I was young, growing up, I traveled through books. I was a voracious reader. I loved being able to read and just immerse myself into the scenes of the books that I was reading. I was able, to travel to London. I was able to travel to Australia, to the Greek islands, to the Grand Canyon, to San Francisco, to the big city of New York, all without leaving my home. And being able to read and explore, travel through books is a wonderful way to start out. But sometimes you just want to get more, experience more. Reading through books is a great way to learn about destinations, but there is absolutely nothing in comparison to actually going and experiencing them for yourselves. And I'm going to give you a little tip because I probably don't travel like most people do. I only say most people because I really don't know how each of you guys travel. And that's one of the things I do with my clients is I sit down and kind of talk to them, get to know them. So I kind of know where to suggest and recommend destinations and what resorts to go to in those destinations. For me, we love to immerse ourselves in the entire culture. We are not ones that go and what I would say, if we were going to Europe, I'm not one to go and just book at the Holiday Inn or the Best Western or the Sheraton over in European cities. There's nothing wrong with that. Lots of people enjoy those type of vacations. For us, we want to travel like a local. So we're staying at small bed and breakfasts and Zimmers, Airbnbs, just different types of accommodations that allow us to get even closer to the people who actually live there. We take the time out to talk to people. We don't live in our own little bubble. Now, you should never go to a destination and assume and expect everyone to speak English. But I will tell you, a large majority of people around the world do speak a little bit of English, at least enough where you could have a basic conversation with them. And if they are under the age of 40, I guarantee you can have more than a basic conversation with them. We get into taxis and I'll say to the taxi driver, where do you take your family to go out for dinner? What park do you like to go and explore? Because I don't want to know where the phone book or where a travel book or a travel guide is going to tell me. Those are going to be the craziest touristy places. I don't want that. I want to know where the local person has actually gone and eaten seafood. What is their best spot for getting the perfect picture of some mountain peak? And you'd be amazed at how many people are so excited just to share that with you. And I think being able to sit down and talk to people from around the world, and even people from, even in the United States, I think we get complacent in our own towns, in our own small circles. And what we need to do is we need as a society to broaden our thinking and just look at other places and how other people live. It might not be how we want to live, but I guarantee you will walk away from those experiences a much wiser person. Even if you don't agree with how they live or what they want to do with their lives, you absolutely will come back and have a better understanding of the world. And I just think that travel is the best way for us to start understanding each other, that we're not all the same. We don't eat at the same times of the day. We don't eat the same meals, the same types of food. We don't think the same way. We don't pray the same way. And that's okay. I love sitting down and listening to the differences and being able to talk to people and finding out why it's important for them, or what makes this particular holiday so special for their family. And maybe we come back and we start celebrating that holiday with our families too. One that we actually did that with our kids was St. Nicholas Day. I didn't grow up with St. Nicholas Day, but when we went to Europe and we were over there at the time with our children, and we saw all of these children putting their shoes out the night before because St. Nicholas was going to come and was going to fill their shoes with treats. And we saw in the small village, St. Nicholas walking through the small village and all the children coming together. We looked at ourselves, and my husband and I were like, well, what a wonderful holiday. There's no reason why we can't celebrate St. Nicholas Day in our family. And so we do. We celebrate. And even now to this day, my boys will come down. If they're home, they're now in college, but put their boots out by the fireplace, hoping that St. Nicholas will come and bring them some chocolate during the start in December. Anyway, it's just a time I really think that we need to look and see what we can do and where you can go learning from each other. Do you have a bucket list? I have a bucket list. I have a bucket list that I probably won't ever see everything on my bucket list, and that's okay. But it's there for me to dream about. And I love talking to my clients about their bucket list because it actually gives me an inside look as to what their dreams really are. For me, the top of my bucket list is seeing the Northern Lights. I want to see the Northern Lights. I want to sit in a cabin that has glass as a roof, and I can lay down in that bed and look up and see the Northern Lights. There are various places I can do that in. I can even do that here in the United States in certain times of the year, up in Michigan and Minnesota and some of our northern states. So it's on my bucket list. Will I get to Finland to see them? I don't know, but I probably can make it to Michigan to see them someday. And so I want to make sure that if I'm talking to people about travel, I want to say to them, what is on your bucket list? I think that this past year, people have really missed traveling the world. And so I hope that you sit down and you put together a bucket list, and I would love to know what your bucket list is. Please comment, and so we can see what your bucket list is. Maybe we can start talking about some of those destinations on your bucket list, and they don't have to be far away. They can be the state next door. It could be as simple as, I'm trying to think, my children, I have to say, have never been inside the White House. We have lived in the Washington, D.C. area all of our life, and I know that that is on the bucket list of one of my kids. And I've got to figure out now how to get him on the list in order to go to see the White House. So, it might take me a while because of security regulations and things like that. And right now with COVID, they certainly aren't doing any tours in the White House. But I know the kid wants to do it, so I will try and say, okay, as soon as they open it back up in the White House for tours, I need to figure out how to get him on a tour so he can see the White House inside. Just things like that. Look around your own area if you're not quite ready to go out into the world. Look and see whether or not there's something that you can make a local bucket list per se. Traveling is definitely about connecting with others, taking time out to listen to people, to share experiences, and to make lifelong memories. Travel can change your perspective of the world. And I think that we can all try to learn something and be more compassionate with people. And I know that you can gain many more experiences through going places than you can just be reading with them. The world is opening up. I really do believe that this fall and in 2022, travel is going to be a huge boom. We are booking, right now we're in a wave season where people, vaccines are definitely out there for people to take. People are ready to go and experience their travel. Yes, there you go. My 22-year-old's coming home right now from college. He's coming in. Say hi. You're on live video. Say hi.
Hello?
I'm on live video with all of my people on my page. So, and he loves to travel too, don't you, Matthew?
Yeah. You don't understand how much I just want to go do things right now.
I know. He is ready to go. He loves to travel. He actually went backpacking with some friends of his from college several years ago, and he is dying to get back there and do it again. And I hope that soon he will actually be able to do that. So, well, we only took about 15 minutes today. I said I was going to go for 30, but I just wanted to come on and say hello to hopefully jumpstart this new program, this new series that I'm going to do. I promise next time to be a little bit more organized, but I don't know what the topic will be next week. I think what I want to do these on Wednesdays at noon, because it's kind of the middle of the week. It's, break the middle of the week up and kind of talk about travel. So if there's a destination that you guys want me to talk about, please comment below, and I will definitely talk to you guys about it. I can't say that I've been everywhere in the world, but I have backpacked through Europe. I have been to many of the islands in the Caribbean, and I've stayed in 5-star hotels, and I've stayed in hostels, and I will say, it really doesn't make a difference where you stay. It's what you do and how you experience, and making sure that you are enjoying yourselves with your family or your travel partners, meeting new people. And we just want to get you guys back out there again, and we want you guys to be safe. And so I definitely want to be able to talk to you guys about how to safely return to travel, and to talk about some destinations that we're really excited about to returning to very, very soon. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Please go back, finish your lunch, and until next week, have a great weekend. Bye.